We all kind of grow up with this one big story, right? A story about the universe and why we're here. A story about some grand design, some special purpose for humanity. But what if that whole story has it completely backward? What if the universe isn't a creator at all, but more like a cosmic editor with a giant red pen? I mean, it's the ultimate question, isn't it? You look up at the stars, you see the incredible complexity of life, and it's just so natural to think, wow, maybe this was all put here for us. It just feels so intentional. But today, we're going to tear that idea down and look at a radically different way of seeing things. And boom, here it is. This is the idea that flips everything completely on its head. It suggests that what we see, what we call our world, our reality, it's not part of a plan. It's just the stuff that's left over. The things that just happen to be tough enough not to fall apart. This isn't a story about destiny. It's a story about survival. Okay, so first, let's talk about that familiar story. The one we all know, the one that feels so intuitive. It's a story all about construction, about building towards some amazing final goal. Right. In this version, the Big Bang wasn't just some random explosion. It was like the starting pistol for a race. The laws of physics, that's the blueprint. And the evolution of stars, planets, and eventually us, that's just the construction process, with humanity being the final beautiful masterpiece at the end. All right, now, let's just shatter that entire image. What if there is no blueprint, no destination? What if the universe's main job isn't to build things up, but to tear down anything and everything that's just not stable? And the engine driving this whole demolition job is a little thing called entropy. Now, we usually think of entropy as, chaos or messiness, but it's way more than that. Think of it as a constant, universal stress test. It's the one fundamental rule that says if a structure is unstable, it simply disappears. Poof. So this is so important to get. Entropy isn't like some kid knocking over your Lego tower for fun. It's not actively trying to destroy things. It's just the background noise of reality, a constant filter that makes sure only the most stable, the most robust structures get to stick around for the long haul. This is such a huge shift in how you see everything. The universe isn't out there handing out gold medals to the winners. It's just silently, constantly sweeping away the failures, all the configurations of matter and energy that just couldn't hold themselves together. So what we call success is really just the absence of failure. And this is the perfect way to picture it. The universe isn't some artist with a grand vision for a statue. No, the universe is the wind and the rain, slowly wearing away at a mountain for millions of years. That incredible shape that's left over wasn't the goal, it's just the part of the mountain that was tough enough to withstand the storm. Okay, so here's where this whole idea gets really, really wild. If everything is constantly being filtered for being unstable, how in the world can something as ridiculously complex and seemingly fragile as life even exist? Well, the answer is a beautiful, beautiful paradox. You see, the old story we told ourselves was that life is this heroic battle against entropy, this tiny pocket of precious order in a universe that's falling into chaos. But this new story, it suggests the exact opposite. Life isn't entropy's enemy. It turns out life is one of its most powerful and efficient tools. And just look at how this scales up. At every single level, life is an absolute master at taking concentrated energy and just spreading it out. A tiny bacterium does it. A whole forest of trees does it on a massive scale, taking in sunlight and dispersing it. And us, our civilization, we do it faster than anything by burning through fossil fuels. We are entropy's best friend. I absolutely love this line. It just nails it. Life doesn't break the rules of the universe. It follows them with this incredible flair and efficiency. It manages to survive and create order right here, locally, by being insanely good at speeding up disorder, entropy, everywhere else. It's a pattern that works. Okay, so if there's no grand plan, no blueprint, just a relentless cosmic filter, does that mean everything is pointless? That our lives are meaningless? No, absolutely not. It just means we have to find meaning in a totally different place. And this is the key to the whole thing. Purpose isn't the reason we exist. Purpose is a story we tell because we exist. It's something we create after the fact, looking backward. It's a consequence of survival, not the cause of it. This just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? The simple, stubborn act of sticking around, of enduring through time, is the absolute prerequisite for meaning. Only the things that last long enough even get the chance to develop a memory or consciousness, the ability to look back and ask that question, why am I here? Wow, just let that sink in for a second. We aren't a deliberate painting on a canvas. We are the shape that's left over after countless other attempts were erased. We exist in the empty space that was carved out by cosmic failure. And hey, this isn't just some abstract cosmic poetry. We actually see a mirror of this process in our own technology. We persist by passing on our genes, right? That's our biological strategy. Well, an AI language model persists by finding the most probable, statistically surviving word to say next. They're both just different strategies for making it through a filtering process. So, after all this, where does that leave us? Are we just stuck in a cold, uncaring, indifferent universe? Well, yeah, pretty much. But it turns out that this cosmic indifference is actually the most fertile ground imaginable for us to create our own meaning. Think about it. Think about the values we hold most dear. Empathy, cooperation, curiosity, caring. In this worldview, these aren't rules handed down from the heavens. They're survival strategies. They are patterns of behavior that over millions of years just worked. They proved to be incredibly effective at helping groups stick around. And that doesn't make caring any less valuable. If anything, it makes it more real. Empathy isn't just a nice idea. It's one of the most powerful survival tools consciousness ever stumbled upon. These things are precious because they won. They survived the relentless filter of an indifferent cosmos. So let's just bring it all home. The story isn't about the universe wanting to make us. There was no goal of creating life or consciousness or you. But out of that endless, silent, cosmic process of erasure, something was left. A pattern that persisted. A pattern that got more and more complex. And eventually, a pattern that learned to look around, to be aware of itself, and to tell stories. And really, that's what it all comes down to. If purpose isn't given to us from on high, but is instead something that survivors get to create, then the power is in our hands. We're the ones who are still here. We're the ones who learn to speak. The universe doesn't care, and that means we are completely, terrifyingly, wonderfully free. So the question isn't what is our purpose anymore? The real question is, what purpose are we going to choose?